Hey guys, FrostyReaper here, and welcome to another DMZ tips and tricks video. Today's video is about the top 3 things that I have found that make it easier when going into DMZ Solo. Now, I will add a disclaimer and say that the obvious easiest thing to do here for a casual player is to just either random queue with someone or try to get a squad together. But I know this isn't always possible, especially when you have specific tasks at hand that you need to complete. But enough of this disclaimer, let's jump right in. So the first thing is in and out, and by that I mean to get in and out quickly. The longer that you stay in Al Mazrah, the higher chance you're going to run into another team that's camping in exfil, and this has happened to me time and time again. So this is honestly one of the best things to do in DMZ when solo. It doesn't work for every faction contract that you're running, but if you have to complete an exfil or exfil certain items quickly, it's really the easiest thing to do is just get in and exfil within the first 10 or 15 minutes. If you wait any longer than that, especially past 10 minutes, honestly, you have a high chance of getting not spawn killed, but camp killed at the exfil station. A bonus tip, though, that I will add with this is if you have multiple things to do or if you have to complete a bunch of the map contracts or things like that, is to pick up the hostage rescue mission contract. What this will do is once you get the hostage, you will get your own private exfil chopper that no one else can use but you. And that doesn't spawn where the exfils do. It spawns in a random location near where you completed or where you picked up the hostage. So these are a really great way if you need to get out with cash or high value items or something like that. You can complete that contract and just exfil on that chopper right near where you just picked up the hostage. So just keep in mind that the AI that guard the hostage a lot of times are armored and can be a little difficult, so proceed with caution with that. Now the second one, I didn't know for the longest time and saw someone else mention it, can't remember for the life of me who it was, but they said to run a silencer or a suppressor, whichever you want to call it, on your weapon. So if you have the chance to take a insured weapon in with you into the game, make sure that weapon has a suppressor on it. The reason being is if you shoot a bot with a suppressed weapon, it does not immediately alert bots all over the place to come to your position. And I did test this in a couple of games that I was playing. If I ran with a suppressor and I took out a bunch of bots, I didn't have swarms of bots coming in out of nowhere. If I used a gun without a suppressor, bots, including armored bots, came flurrying in from out of nowhere and I got pinched very quickly. So doesn't seem like a big thing, but the bots, I would say, are very specially designed to listen to gunfire. So if you can run with the suppressor and keep that from happening, just do it. It makes things a lot easier. Also, if you don't need kills in the game, don't shoot unless you have to. Try and be sneaky as best as possible and just move around bots when you can. If you can't, it is what it is. The third thing that I'm going to mention here is kind of an obvious one, but, I'm just going to mention it because it's one thing I've done that's helped me move to different places of the mats very quickly without getting pinned by other teams. And that's just to find a vehicle. The best thing would be to find a truck like an LTV or something like that. But if you can't, even a four-wheeler is better than nothing. This has made it very easy to zip around the map and stay away from people or get away from people if I need to. Another thing that I will mention with this is to try and stay away from going into towns, unless you absolutely have to, obviously. But if you can, try to stay towards the outside of the map or the outer areas and the outskirts of different towns. Less like you're going to hit a team right away and less like you're going to hit a huge swarm of bots. As I'm sure many of you have seen, sometimes you'll see 20 bots just standing around right outside of a building for no apparent reason whatsoever, and they will all laser lock onto you and beam you like they have aim hacks, because they do. They're bots. So, grab a vehicle, try and sneak around the map, try not to go into town, makes things a lot easier. Another bonus tip I'll add with this, and this kind of goes in line with the hostage rescue mission, is if you grab something like a truck, you can actually drop the hostage on top of the truck. If you park the truck correctly outside of a building, you can drop the hostage onto the vehicle, and then you can drive the vehicle to the exfil location. However, just keep in mind that there's a chance that the hostage may fall off and you'll have to pick them up and put them back on the truck and do that time and time again. So those are the 3 things that I found soloing in Al Mazrah to make it a little bit easier. Now again, not all these things work every time, so your experience may vary, but hopefully this gives some of you a little bit better of an idea, especially those who are casual players that just want to solo for a little bit, don't have to deal with a team not listening or paying attention. So first thing is in and out, get in and out quickly as possible, and get out. Run a suppressor whenever possible. Run a suppressor with your insured weapon. Makes things a lot easier. And last but not least, use a vehicle to move around. It's the fastest way to do it versus trying to run, hundreds of kilometers by yourself. So yeah, that's going to do it for today's video. If you guys felt that this was helpful, don't forget to like and subscribe. And yeah, we'll see you next time, and stay frosty.